Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Nathan from Adventures of Frostbeard, and today I'm coming at you with a tent review for the Tarptent Rainshadow 3. Stick with us, it's going to be a great video. Okay, so the Tarptent Rainshadow 3. What do I like? What don't I like? What is good? What is bad? We're going to talk about that all today. First, I want to say that I am in no way sponsored by Tarptent. We bought this tent ourselves. We spent our own money on it. We bought it for our own use. Tarptent has in no way asked me to create some sort of positive review. This is just what I like and what I don't like. This tent weighs in at just 2 pounds, 15 ounces. It's made of 30D sil nylon, and Tarptent says it can be set up in under 2 minutes. You can see by the video here that it is very easy to set up, and I imagine that with 2 or 3 adults it really can be set up in under 2 minutes. But typically it takes me between 5 and 10, depending on how easy it is to get the stakes in the ground and find a spot and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's talk about the pros. What do I like about this tent? Well, first off, for as big as it is insanely light. 3 pounds for a 3-person tent of this magnitude is amazing. I also like the design. The way this tent is set up, you don't find your face really close to the tarp material, to the walls of the tent, which means that you never feel claustrophobic. It's also part of why this tent breathes so well. With the solid mesh on either end of the tent, air flows right through, you don't have your breath coming back down on you, which makes for a really comfortable, not claustrophobic feeling night of sleep. Again, this tent is really easy to set up, which I think is awesome, because the last thing you need after a long hike, especially when you're like me and hiking with a bunch of kids, is to struggle to set up your tent nicely. This thing goes right up, it's easy to set up, no hassles. No better word describes this tent than a palace. If you're just sleeping 2 people, it's enormous. 1 person, it would be a mansion. But even with 3 people, you're gonna have plenty of room, you're not gonna feel crowded. It really is a good sized tent. I also really like that you don't have to get out of this tent to close it up for the rain. That means that if you wake up in the middle of the night and it's starting to rain and you need to close up the tent, you don't have to get out. You just reach to either end, close it up, zip it up, and you are weatherproof. And finally, the thing I like about this tent is the price. At the time of this recording, this tent comes in at $329 US. That is super cheap for an ultralight tent for 3 people. I don't know any other tent on the market right now that will sleep as many people at as low a weight and as low a cost as this tent. So what about the cons? What don't I like about this tent? Well, the first thing is that it's sil nylon. I know that's not really that big of a deal. People have been using sil nylon forever. But my other tent, my main tent, is the Z-Pax Duplex, and it is Dyneema. And Dyneema, not only is it 100% waterproof, but it doesn't stretch. And I really appreciate that when that tent gets wet, it doesn't sag. Speaking of getting wet, another downside to sil nylon is that it holds water. It absorbs some water, which means that this tent is going to get a little heavier after a rain. Now, to be fair, this tent dries out very, very fast, but when you initially pack it up, you're going to be carrying a little bit of water weight. Another con to this tent is the lead time. So when you order this tent, Tarptent is a small company. They don't have thousands of each item stored in a warehouse that's just waiting to be shipped, which means that often they have to make this tent for you. So when you order this tent, be prepared to wait for several weeks in order to get it. Another thing that I don't like is that this tent doesn't come seam sealed. Now that's not a big deal. You can buy a seam seal kit for under $10 and seal it up yourself. Or you can pay Tarptent to seam seal it, which is what I did, because risking messing it up, or even the amount of time it was going to take just wasn't worth it for me. I just paid the extra $35 and had Tarptent seal it for me, but that meant I had to wait an extra week for the seam sealing while the silicone cured. Well, that's it. My review of the Tarptent Rainshadow 3. If you found this video even remotely valuable, please hit that like button. If you're interested in future trips and videos of us backpacking with our children, or solo trips, or me solo, Chanda solo, me and Chanda together, checking out the forest and that sort of thing, go ahead and subscribe to this video, and we will catch you on the trail.